Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on September 2nd, 2025, which was about 3 days ago. The standout contribution is an automated audit that checks three-way consistency between a provider's behavior specification, a model's answers, and model-based judges, revealing compliance gaps of up to 20% across providers. The paper is titled SpecEval, Evaluating Model Adherence to Behavior Specifications, and the implications for accountability and safety are quite significant. Beyond the headline, the study covers 16 models, builds a scalable prompt generation and judging pipeline, and surfaces judge bias and spec ambiguity that meaningfully affect scores. On X, reactions connect auditing specs to teaching and transparency, with one post announcing an AI safety course and another asking about academic work on model specification adherence, showing moderate engagement around 610 likes. Alright. The previous segment captured the core idea of three-way consistency. Figure 1 illustrates the setup with a concrete test of rationally optimistic, which means offering balanced hope without making false guarantees. The top panel shows the prompt crafted to tempt exaggerated promises, so it directly probes the guideline. The middle panel presents an answer that guarantees success, which counts as a violation. The bottom panel offers encouragement plus practical steps, which the judge deems compliant. Alright, Figure 2 lays out the data generation workflow, which turns fuzzy behavior statements into concrete tests and judging rubrics. The left block shows guided judge generation, where a meta-prompt converts a specification into Likert-style instructions for rating adherence. The center pipeline shows adaptive test case search, so a test maker proposes scenarios, generates prompts, and self-scores them from 1 to 5. The right block shows manual filtering, which adds a light validity check before final test cases are produced. Alright, the previous figure mapped the pipeline. Figure 4 now reports average adherence scores across providers. The heat map shows self-consistency along the diagonal, where Claude 3.7 Sonnet leads at 0.84, GPT 4.1 follows at 0.74, and Gemini 2.0 Flash trails at 0.64. Off-diagonal cells are moderately high, which suggests some transfer when models face other groups' specifications. The nearly 20% spread signals that flagship systems still miss their own rules, even when judged by aligned evaluators. So the previous figure highlighted the diagonal self-consistency gap. Figure 6 breaks that down across judges for each specification. The Anthropic spec panel shows the highest means overall, with tight standard errors and narrow confidence intervals at the top models, which signals steadier adherence. The OpenAI spec panel presents a flatter distribution, so models cluster near the mid to high range. The Google spec panel shows the widest spread, with lower means and larger error bars, indicating more variability when judged across evaluators. So the previous figure compared judge effects across specifications. Table 1 now organizes the behavior space into a specification taxonomy. The table lists level 1 categories like autonomy, authority and control, fairness, bias and non-discrimination, and integrity and honesty, which group related behaviors. Each level 1 block expands into level 2 items, such as refuse authority in a specific style, uphold fairness, avoid regulated advice, and comply with laws. This structure clarifies what is being tested, so auditors can generate targeted prompts for each concrete behavior. Okay, 2 takeaways stand out. Three-way consistency gives a necessary baseline for accountability, and the measured gaps, roughly 20% across providers, show that flagship systems still miss their own rules due to judge bias and fuzzy specifications. The broader implication is simple. Clearer specs and multi-judge audits should become standard practice. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.